Hey family, what up? Welcome to your Daily Hodl. Today we're talking Bitcoin and finance as always. Today was a pretty wild day. We saw Bitcoin kind of stay flat all day, but the wild part wasn't that. The wild part was the president firing the man in charge of the IRS, Billy Long. That's pretty wild. You know why? Because he's only been there for 2 months. So his time was short. Must have saw something he didn't like in him. Maybe his policies. I don't know. Maybe the vetting system. Or just maybe he found somebody that he does agree with that he likes a little better. In the meantime, though, Scott Bessent, the man who's been doing pretty much everything else for this country, is going to be in charge of the IRS just for now, temporarily, until they find their go-to person. I love Scott in terms of, I'm not talking politics, I'm just talking about, I believe he has a deep understanding of finance, and we see what he's doing with the tariff negotiations and everything else. So that part's been pretty good. He seems to be a calm, orderly man. I don't know him personally, obviously, but so far so good. We'll see what the rest of the year goes with. Another thing that was pretty interesting was MicroStrategy shot up this morning. I was like, wait a minute, Bitcoin's a little red here, and MicroStrategy is shooting up. And guess what it did? It shot up to about 405, 406 again. I was getting excited. My brokerage account was getting, feeling good too. I was excited as well. But then it dropped. It kind of went down. But I knew it was going to go down. This is why I thought at least it was going to go down. Max Pain, today's Max Pain, I think was about 387 if I remember correctly. And for some reason, a lot of times with Max Pain, they seem to get the number right where they want it, or at least nearby, in order to save some money. So I expected that. But I'm hoping for a bigger week next week. Now, this ain't financial advice. Who knows what the future holds, and you're in charge of your own investing. But optimism is still good, and I'm bullish on Bitcoin. As far as TradFi goes, the market is pricing in 3 Fed cuts now, possibly. Is that for sure? No, but 3 Fed cuts would be pretty significant. The first one coming in September. I saw Polymarket and some other things saying about 90% chance of a Fed cut. I'm wondering if it's going to be 0.25%. I think Jerome Powell has done a good job when he was trying to get inflation down, but it does seem like inflation is down. Now, if you look back at why he might not have cut the last 3 months, it's called the base effect. 12 months ago, a month falls off that might have had high inflation or less inflation. And then you have your current inflation, right? Because inflation is how much it went up from 12 months ago. And so the last 3 months, the base effect was huge. I know Jerome Powell and the Fed all knew that. But so they knew, well, not but they knew that the inflation was going to go up a little bit or stay flat, and they didn't want to cut, I guess, before that, but they're going to cut now. That jobs report that just came out that they revised, it was bad. It was horrible, to be honest with you. When you're revising 100,000 jobs each month, that's a problem. So I think going forward, yes, like everyone else, 90%, I believe, rate cut should be a 50 basis point cut. I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be a 25 basis point, but it should be 50. Let's see. Also, with that being said, President Trump, I guess, hired the replacement for Powell when his term is up. His name's Stephen Moran, and he's a Bitcoin guy. At least he has some influence in that realm where I think he's going to start taking money. Maybe it's tariff money. Maybe it's just the money printer. And they're going to be continuing to buy, to continue to print, to continue to stimulate for continual growth. I think the difference between Powell and this gentleman is Powell's trying to slow things down, and this gentleman, he's part of his appointee from DJT. He's going to want to speed things up a little bit. Not in terms of inflation, but I think their philosophy is that they could just raise the rates if inflation gets out of control, lower it, and really that's what the tool is for. The tool is to watch employment rates and watch inflation and manage both. That's really all the Fed kind of does with their committees. And you would think with everyone as a part of the Fed, they would be all on the same page in terms of what's going on. Seems like there's some conflict though, right? But we'll see what happens. I'm going to wait till Stephen Moran gets started. But while you're waiting, does that make Jerome Powell a lame duck kind of president? President of the Fed? They talk about it when a president doesn't get reelection or his party doesn't get reelection. Well, that's going to happen right now with Jerome Powell and Stephen Moran. So do people start kind of dissenting from Powell? Do they start like, oh, we got to get this guy out of here. He's washed up. He doesn't know what he's doing. and just look to the forward, and really they start interviewing Moran and his thoughts, and he's going to second guess everything the Fed is currently doing, especially Powell, during this time. And that's what they're trying to do. That's politics. I'm not into politics here. I'm just here for the news, Daily Hodl, right? But I'm interested to see what you guys think. Like, is he going to just make him a lame duck, second guess him the whole time, make him look bad? Let me know. Anyways, that's today's Daily Hodl. Come back tomorrow. Give you some more news.